Okay, let's get started. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us tonight. My name is Andrea, and I am the founder of Plentyi. We're so excited to have you here. Tonight isn't just about our platform, it's about showing you how something you already own, your driveway, garage, or lot can become a simple source of steady extra income. So we designed this webinar to help people. We want this to feel like a community. So please use the chat, ask questions, and share your thoughts. So I'd just like to pose this question out there to our audience. Where do you live, and do you currently have a driveway, garage, or lot? Sometimes that sits empty. You could just drop it in the chat. Okay. So what we know New York is crowded and parking is one of the top daily frustrations for drivers. So when I first thought about Plenty, it was because I always had issues with finding parking in my neighborhood. And I'm not sure if anybody on this chat is from New York, but that was one of the biggest issues that I used to experience and still experience to this day. Um, and I noticed that my neighbors would have a driveway that was probably not being utilized at the time that I needed to find parking. And I was just constantly circling for parking, especially when street cleaning was taking place. And I just thought this would be a great idea, that we can actually help each other. So me as a neighbor needing parking and my neighbor having a space, we can actually, it could benefit the both of us. So just quick question, is anybody from New York that's on the line? You could just do a thumbs up. Can everybody hear me on the line? If just is there, I can get a thumbs up. Okay. So let's go to the next slide. So let's talk about why this matters. New York City has over 2 million cars, but fewer than 1.4 million legal parking spaces. That means for every single space, 3 to 5 drivers are fighting for it. On top of that, rules like alternate side parking, residential permits, which is new, and meters increasing and congestion pricing makes it even harder. It actually takes 20 to 40 minutes on an average to find parking. And I know I've experienced that in my neighborhood. I've experienced it going into downtown area of Brooklyn, and it's always been very painful. So imagine circling that long after a long day at work, which has happened to me, or when you're running late for an appointment. So, raise your hand if you ever missed a dinner reservation or been late to a doctor's appointment just because you couldn't find parking. I can only imagine that pain is real. I felt it plenty of times. Okay. Okay. All right. So, this isn't just a New York issue. This issue is with cities across the country and even outside of the United States face it. But here in New York City, it's extreme. And that's why homeowners like you are in the perfect position to help solve it. So let's go to the next slide. So here we are. Let's talk about what this could mean for you financially. If you rent out your space for 20 days a month, $15 a day, that's about $300 a month. If you rent out for a full month, At $18 a day, that's about $540 a month. And if you rent out two spaces, that could be $600 a month. Now, from the research we've done, we noticed that in Brooklyn and in Queens, the average amount of money that a person can generate from their space is about 300 to $370 a month. And imagine this money can cover groceries, utilities, or even add to your savings or vacations fund. And remember, this is passive income. Once your space is listed, the bookings can flow in without you having to do much. So imagine turning something that's currently giving you a small return or zero return, an empty driveway, into a steady income stream month after month. So I just like to throw this question out to the audience. If you earned an extra $300 every month from a space you already know own, what would you use it for? Bills, family, or something fun? Bills. Okay. All right. Okay. Um, and that's just one space. So multiply it by two or by a garage, and suddenly you're talking about thousands of dollars per year. That'd be amazing. So, um, we wanted to go right into some of the concerns that we know a lot of homeowners have with renting out their space. Renting out their space that can seem intrusive, or you might be concerned, have safety concerns. You have people in your space. So, and with the research that we've conducted, we realized that these are the main concerns that a lot of people have. So, first one is safety and damage. So, hosts often ask, what if something happens on my property? It's a great question because your peace of mind matters, right? So here's the good news. In other markets like Just Park, which is in the United Kingdom, over 90% of driveway rentals report no incident at all. That tells us that most renters are simply everyday people who just need a reliable place to park and reasonable pricing as well. However, we still encourage a few simple safety steps. Step number one, verify drivers. Ask for the make, model, and license plate, especially for longer stays. Like for example, with Plentyi, we also verify drivers through our platform. But if you're not using our platform, you want to make sure that you verify whom is going to be actually parking in your location, in your driveway. Also, use cameras or motion lights. So if you have a small outdoor camera or even a motion sensor light, excuse me, if you have a small outdoor camera, this can actually help you. Or even a motion sensor, it can discourage issues and give you extra peace of mind, right? And set clear rules. For example, when you're renting out your space, make sure that whomever is renting out your space, they know exactly where to park their vehicle, the do's and don'ts of parking in your location. So you might say park on the left side only, or do not block sidewalk. So when drivers know exactly what to do, there's less room for mistakes or confusion. So think of it like hosting a guest. Clear communication up front makes for a smooth experience. So I have a question to the audience. How many of you already have a ring or blink camera at your property? Click yes or no in the chat or type yes or no in the chat. No takers? Anybody? No? Okay. Well, I think thanks for Nikki. I appreciate that. Um, But I think if you're going to actually rent out your space, that can be something that could be very helpful. Okay, go to the next one. So the next common concern is, will anybody or anyone book my space? Now, not sure where you at, if you're in New York, if you're not, but that is one of the fears that people have. But let's here's the truth. New York City has more demand than supply when it comes to parking. Drivers are desperate for reliable, affordable options. What makes a difference is how you present your space. So photos matter. Listed with clear daytime photos are booked 2 to 3 times more often. Show the full space, entry from the street, and highlight features like cover gated or near subway or cameras. We have cameras as well. So they know exactly what they're getting, right, when they're looking to um, park their vehicle at this location. And location is gold. Even if even if your space feels ordinary, proximity to a hospital, school, or the train, a transit hub makes it valuable. If you're near like Barclays Center, anywhere there's any type of event venues, that's gold. So, example, if you have parking that's near a train station, like in Queens, and I'm only referencing New York because this is where we are based at. So please forgive me. I hope that you have been in New York or you know New York, but not. I'm referring to Queens that's in New York. And if you have a spot that's near one of the train stations in Queens, that can be a rental that somebody would quickly want to use because it helps commuters and it puts them at peace of mind, right? So they can park their vehicle, get on the train, and then they can go to work, right? And then also smart pricing. Start at the lower end of your neighborhood range to build traction. After a few bookings and reviews, you can raise your price. So remember, you don't need 100 bookings to succeed. Even 8 to 10 bookings a month can put extra money in your pocket. So, if anybody could say if you have a space, where is your space located? Is it near transit, school, a busy avenue, near an event venue? Okay. Any takers? Okay. So the next one is another concern, right? And I think we have this one of the biggest misconceptions is that hosting means a lot of work, right? And the opposite is true, right? You know, no, with us, chasing or you could set a clear schedule for your parking. So if you're using a platform, it can actually be helpful. But just say if you're doing it on your own, set a clear schedule once, right? Decide when your space is going to be available. Is your space going to be available on the weekdays only? Is it going to be available in the evenings, or is it going to be 24/7? So once you have that in place, then that can help you schedule out, plan out your parking, right? And you can have it all in one location and it makes it easier for you to manage if you're going to be doing it on your own, right? And also I would say skip the cash meetups. I know people now who rent out their space and they only accept cash. And sometimes that could be a good thing and that could be a bad thing, right? It just depends how well you know this person. If you know this person, sometimes you have neighbors that you do know your neighbors, so you can pay them with cash, or you might not be comfortable with cash. So I always say, use a secure platform like PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, or Zelle. Or you could delegate it to a platform, right? Something like Plentyi, which we handle reservations, payments, and also reminders and notifications. Um, that, or you there's other platforms that you can use as well, not just not just Plentyi, but that could be another way that you can do it. You can use Facebook Marketplace. You also have Neighbors. You can also use Craigslist. These are different platforms that you can use that actually place your space so people can you can have more visibility and exposure. But if you're looking for a platform to actually manage it, manage your payments, manage your notifications, your reservations, the approval process, you want to go with a company like Plentyi or Neighbors, because the other ones are more of a manual um, manage way of managing your space. Another one is respecting your space. I think we think about respecting our space outside of parking, just respecting your space in general as a human being, right? So we always want to make sure that we're respecting each other and people are respecting us, and that's also respecting our space, right? And that's physical and mental and spiritual. So, um, you are always in control of your property, right? So we want to make sure that that's upfront. So what we would suggest is that you set rules up front. Don't If you don't want overnight parking, state that. If you only have compact cars, then then say that as well. Rules are built into your listing. You can actually build it into your listing. And then also post signs. So if you have a parking space, you have maybe you have two spaces, one for your vehicle and one for the space that you're going to be reserving. So with that, what you can do is that you can have a sign that says private property sign on it, just to have clarity and authority. And then also, as we stated before, you can verify your drivers, right? Ask for their make, their model, the license plate before approving, just to make sure you're on the safe side. Okay. I know is liabilities and zoning, and we want to just put this out there in the front because we know that there are a lot of homeowners who probably are not comfortable with parking because they're not sure how liable they're going to be, right? So liability equals responsibility if someone is injured or property is damaged while on your space. So as we know it, standard homeowner insurance policy often exclude businesses use like renting a driveway. So, for example, if someone slips and they fall on the ice in your driveway, your regular policy may not pay, right? Because if it was like, well, they were here renting out their space, I was renting out my space and they were here to, move their car, and they fell, there might be an issue, they might not cover it. So what we suggest is that you call your insurer before you list in your space on any of those platforms, and you ask them about a home business rider or a liability add-on. It's usually affordable, but you just want to check with them before you list your space. And if you are, and also zoning, we know that in certain areas of the country, certain states, they don't allow you to rent out your driveways. And then also there's HOA rules. So we just want to make sure that you keep yourself informed. It could mean that you might need a permit or you need to register as a small business, or you need to get approval from your HOA. Now, in New York City, most residential driveways are fine, but rules can vary by borough or even by block. So, for best practices, you want to confirm upfront. Now with Plenty, we often we provide our homeowners with guidance. We support them if they need understanding of what type of insurance they might need. So we are here to help our hosts that are joining us. So let's go into the step-by-step how to list your space. Um, First thing to list your space is that you want to take great photos, right? Show the whole driveway, the garage, not just a corner. Make sure that it's lit very well, and include a street view photo of the entrance of the driveway or the parking lot or the parking garage. It helps renters find your spot easily. Also, clean up before taking any photos, like sweep away any leaves you might have, remove any trash cans, anything like that. You just want to make it look nice and presentable. It's like an Airbnb, right? Similar to that, but for your space, your driveway. And then also take the photos in daytimes when there's good lighting, so you can really show off your space. And then you can also add quick captions in your listing. It could be if it's 2 minutes away, 2 minute walk away from the subway, or is it close to a certain event venue, or there's certain buses there nearby, so they can just get an understanding exactly the surroundings of the part of your parking space and what they should be looking for. And choose your availability. As I stated earlier, it's up to you want to have a set schedule if you're going to be managing, renting out your space. Choose your availability. Hourly is best for spaces that are near shopping areas, stadiums, or entertainment venues. And daily is normally ideal for commuters who work 9 to 5 or students that are on campus or colleges in a very highly congested area. And monthly is perfect for long-term stability. It appeals to residents in the area, also hospital staff, people who work in that area, or nearby businesses. And then so you want to have that flexibility. If you have flexibility, it's a higher demand. And you can always, if you feel like you're not going to be available at that time, it's up to you how you want to schedule your space to be available. But you want to make sure that you plan it out, and it will make it easier for you to manage your space. Okay. And set your price and publish. So, um, not sure how many people are here from New York, so I'm just going to use New York. And if you have a driveway in Brooklyn and Queens, you can set your price strategically. It like check nearby apps for going rates in your zip code, so you can use apps like our app, which is Plenty. Neighbor is another app you can use. Craigslist, Spot Hero. These gives you an idea of not only people who own property who are renting out their space, how much they're charging, but also the parking garages that are located in that area, how much they're charging, right? So driveways in Brooklyn and Queens are right now, you can charge up to $12 to $20 a day. Also, garages or cover spots could be up to $200 to $400 a month. So you want to think about all the amenities that comes along with your parking space. Is it indoor? Is it outdoor? Do you have a fob? Is there a smart lock? All these things make a difference, and how you want to price your space. And we suggest that you start slightly lower and then just upward and then adjust it upward as your reviews build. Because most of the time, if you're placing on these different platforms, people are going to, leave reviews, right? And and then after you know exactly how much you want to charge after you've done your research, you can publish your space. You can publish your space, like I said, on Plenty, which is an on-demand parking platform, or Neighbor. Neighbor is a platform that usually is focus on people who own homes, who have driveways, who have parking garages, and they want to rent out their space. That is a place that normally is used. And from my understanding, Neighbor is more of a month-to-month type of parking platform. So if you're looking for more of a flexibility, so if you wanted to say, well, I don't want to rent it for a month. I only want to rent it on a weekly basis or a daily basis or hourly basis. Neighbors might not be the best platform for you. But if you are into month-to-month parking, then Neighbors could be an option. Neighbor has a lot of visibility. So that's something to think about. Spot Hero. Spy Hero is another platform, but they're mostly geared towards garages and not homeowners. And then also businesses that have space. And Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace, uh, that is another place where you can publish your space. Those are that will mostly be managed by you and will require you to do a little more work, which means that you will have to manage your reservations, your bookings, your approvals, the notifications that you receive from the clients, for your potential clients. But that's another platform that you could use, and you could set it on Facebook if you're only doing weekdays, if you're only doing nights, if you're only doing monthlies or anything like that, you can set that tone on those areas. But just be mindful and just be careful with Craigslist and Facebook and protect yourself as we stated earlier. Make sure you verify the driver ahead of time. You ask certain questions ahead of time just so you can keep yourself safe, right? Okay. And Plenty, with our platform, what we do is we offer people the flexibility. So if you want to park your space on an hourly basis or a daily basis or a monthly basis, you can do that on our platform. Okay. And step five is the payout. Um, we I would definitely recommend that your payout be automatic, right? And I know, and I've seen it, living in New York, and I know that a lot of times the payout is cash, right? Cash is king, understandable. And there are pluses and there's pros and cons to both, right? For cash, it's immediate money in your hands. There's no platform fees, there's no transaction fees, right? So I get it. But then there's a risk of non-payment and safety concerns, and if something happens, there's no recourse. So, those are the things you want to think about. But with automatic payment, it's safe, it's secure, it's trackable. You don't have to go around chasing for your money or awkward meetups, and you can keep records of it if necessary, and it's protection if you have to do any type of disputes. So, yeah. Okay. So, and just wanted to go over, just give you a little bit more information about Plentyi. Plentyi is an on-demand parking solution. And what we do is we connect drivers with unused driveways, garages, and parking spots. It allows you to get paid on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis just for sharing your space. Um, and just here, we would just like to share how you can start making money from your space, even with just a few hours a week, and easy step by step to list your space, manage your availability, and receive payouts, and also incentives for new hosts that decide to join us. So, how Plentyi works? It's very simple. It just takes about 5 minutes to set it up. But just, you know, give a little bit more details on Plentyi. Plentyi, we is all about community. We provide host guidance and best practices. We also co-promote with local businesses, and we also support the host through every step, not just when they list. Plentyi is more than just an on-demand parking solution. It's a platform that was built for New Yorkers and outside New Yorkers as well, but it was mainly built for New Yorkers by New Yorkers. Um, And then we also have the flexibility as a host. You could choose when you get paid, like I said, daily, weekly, or monthly. So how does it work? A homeowner just lists their space. You take your photos, take the step-by-step approach that we talked about earlier, and take your photos, you set your schedule, and we're 100% there for you to help you with setting your schedule. You can call us. We're available 24/7. We can walk you through the process. We can even set it up for you. And then also what we do is we just verify that your space is valid, and then afterwards your spacing is published on our platform. And not only is it published on our platform, but it's published through our Google ads, and it's also published to our social media, so you have extra exposure and visibility to your space. And then once it's actually published and people and somebody's interested, what they'll do is they'll go to our platform, they'll search for space in that location. If your space fits their criteria, what the driver will do, they will reserve and book their space. And as you as a host, you have the option if you want to be able to approve every reservation, or you can have automatic approval. So you can, if somebody is looking and they want to actually book the space, you will get a notification via email saying, hey, someone would like to reserve their space. You'll go into the platform and either approve it or you reject it. It's up to you. Once it has been approved and a person actually finished their booking, has been completed, you will receive payment, and it's up to you when you want to receive your payment. Normally, our payouts are 7 days after the transaction, and from there you can receive payment the next day after that. So we handle all the bookings. You can be able to look at all your bookings on our site. We handle the payments, and you can get your payment either automatically deposited into your account, or you can get a check. And all your notifications will be sent through us, and you be able to see all and manage everything through our platform. Okay. So who should join us? Anyone who's a homeowner, who has space, property managers, small businesses, owners who have extra space, and anyone, any of those above, who's interested in generating passive income. And what we're offering if with today is that if anybody joins us, they'll receive a $50 bonus for their new listing. Once they actually sign up and they list their space, they receive a $50 bonus. Also, we provide extra exposure, as I stated, through our event promotion. So, like if there's any type of event that's happening in that area, and your space is available at that time, then we will send out notification letting people know that, hey, there's space available at this location. And for the price that you set, because you can set your own pricing. If you decide today you want your pricing to be $20, you can set it. You can call us and we can help you with that. If you decide tomorrow you want to increase it to $30 because there's an event happening, that's up to you as well. And then we also provide a digital welcome kit with signage that you can put in your space, any tools that you might need, if you would like to post it on your Instagram, your social media, and letting people know we can provide you and design content for that, and also support. Like I said, we're available 24 hours and 7 days a week. And, Plentyi, what we are, we're all about local business and supporting our local ecosystem. So we also partner with local businesses to offer exclusive promotion to our drivers. And then also our businesses that are partnering with us, they can offer promotion to our drivers. But as a host, you have an option to opt out if you do not want to participate in the events that's happening. Um, in restaurants or venues, that's really up to you. And then also, we believe like partnering with these local events and local businesses, that it can actually boost the visibility of your space. So as I stated, we are offering a special today. Special today, if you sign up with us and you place your space on our platform, you'll receive a $50 bonus, and that will cover the first few weeks. Your earnings after that is your profit, of course. And only thing right now you can set up if you sign up today, take photos of your space tonight, and create your listing. And once we approve it, you'll receive your $50 bonus. So the FAQs, and I think we covered it with when it came to insurance, was what about insurance? As I stated earlier, you want to make sure that you're covered. Like there are homeowners insurance that cover certain claims, but if somebody's renting out your space and something happens on your property, if they slip, they fall, or anything like that, you want to make sure you cover. So you want to call your insurance company and ask if there's any way that you can have an add-on or a home business add-on or a rider, a liability rider added to your insurance. It shouldn't cost you that much, but you want to make sure you protect yourself. And then another question is, what if someone doesn't show? If a person doesn't show and the booking has already begun, then you will receive full payment for that booking, even if that person didn't show. But if they cancel within the cancellation time, then there's a certain percentage that will be given to you as the host and refunded back to the customer. And how do you set your pricing? As we stated earlier, it's up to you. You have the flexibility to set the pricing to what you want it to be. But we advise you to be conscious about that and be mindful of that if you just starting and you want to bring clients to you, you want it to be a reasonable pricing. And depending on the day that the pricing is set, you just want to be mindful of that. And if you join Plentyi, we can guide you and help you with that as well. So how you get started today, you would visit our platform, which is plentyi.com to sign up and list your space. Once your space has been approved, you'll receive your $50 bonus. And then after that, we will be able to help you every step of the way. So you should receive an email from us with the steps on the steps you can take to sign up and list your space. You can always give us a call if you need to talk to one of our representatives, or you can shoot us an email at support@plentyi.com. And you'll also receive a step-by-step instruction on how you can list the space. So even if you decide you don't want to list your space with Plentyi, this step-by-step instruction guide will help you and will guide you to listing your space on a different platform. The platform like I said, it could be Neighbor, it could be Facebook Marketplace, it can be Craigslist. All of the steps that I provided to you, it doesn't matter which platform it is, it applies to each one of them. Those are the steps that you want to take. So I'll stop here to see if anybody has any questions. And you could drop it in the chat if you don't feel comfortable with open up the mic and speaking. Okay, going once, going twice. Okay. All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. It was a pleasure. Again, even if you don't join us and you have questions, please feel free to. Is there any questions? Oh, I'm sorry, I missed it. Is this geared for New York as I'm not in New York? I'm sorry, Nikki. I did not see your. No, it's not, Nikki. So if you're not in New York, that's fine. This is open for everyone. It's just that it started in New York. We're based in New York, but we want this option to be available to everyone. So it's not just for New York. Um, and Minyo, oh, you missed the first 20 minutes of the class. That's fine. What we could do is we can send you a recording of this actual what actually happened, or you could stay online and you could ask more questions if you have any questions, if you need any clarity. We're here to answer your questions. It's up to you. So so just let me know. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Um, would you want to stay on this line right here and we can just have a conversation? You can open it up. Hello. Okay. All right. Well, if you have a number, if you feel more comfortable, you can always um we can send you an email, and if you want to schedule a time that we can call you, we can do that too, if that's better. Um, may I just ask a question? Are you located in the city or in New York? You're welcome, Nikki. I hope you join us. Um, Mi- Minya, are you located in New York or outside of New York? Okay. Okay. California. All right now. Okay. All right. Well, listen, I will definitely email you. And let's set up a time and we can talk. If not, you can always chat via email and then I'll send this to you as well. All right. And thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. And it's okay that you joined late. I'm glad you just joined us. Okay. Take care and have a great evening. Take care.